in your head you already know that what is the benchmark that you have set, that okay, this is the standard. Now at what point you are saying that I'm satisfied with the result I have received is going to be your final benchmark. So just don't have a benchmark, just keep getting better and keep evolving.
हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू एक्सपर्ट्राइब। आज मैं जिनके साथ पॉडकास्ट कर रही हूँ ना, वो है सेलिब्रिटी शेफ हर्ष दीक्षित। वो सुपरस्टार रणबीर कपूर के शेफ। उनकी अलग अलग लुक्स, उनकी न्यूट्रिशनल रिक्वायरमेंट्स, हर चीज़ के बारे में हम डिटेल बात करेंगे। उन्होंने कैसे अपना पाथ कवर किया एक सेलिब्रिटी शेफ बनने का, वो क्यों रेस्टोरेंट में काम नहीं करना चाहते थे। वील टॉक ऑल अबाउट इट। स्टे ट्यून्ड ऑन दिस पॉडकास्ट।
What are the different ways to make a career in the hospitality sector in India as well as abroad? If somebody young wants to start.
So I definitely believe that I sort of entered this industry in its golden age, wherein there were so many more designations of chefs that opened up for chefs or for someone in the hospitality industry that have opened up now as compared to 10 years back, 10 years back, wherein the standard approach of anyone graduating out of culinary school or hospitality school, they would straight away get inside a hotel or a standalone restaurant or go for cruise, and some people even join the airlines as stewards, and those are the things. But now uh, there are so many more things that you can do. You could be, you could be a food journalist, or you could be a blogger. You could be a food photographer. You could be, an R&D and a research and development chef, wherein who is just working in the lab every single day, developing recipes for various things, for big MNCs if they want to make a FMCG product. If yeah, or chefs nowadays, even in standalone restaurants, they have their own labs wherein you're making everything from scratch. If you want to use vinegar in your food, you're making your own vinegar and then you're adding it to your dish. If you are using, I don't know, miso or soy sauce or chili sauce or something as simple as ketchup also. So yeah, the knowledge and the information sharing nowadays is so vast that it's all about how hungry are you to pursue it, and how hungry are you to or how curious you are to pursue it and achieve it in things that guidelines that are given to you. Yeah, and it's been my best teacher, to be honest. Um, I have never, when I used to work in a restaurant under someone, I have never been given an opportunity to cook, say for a specific ingredient like a leg of lamb or say dudhi, loki. Uh, it's probably not used in a Chinese restaurant, but once you once you understand the ingredient yourself, once you eat it in a sabji, once you eat it in a dal, once you try and experiment by making a stir fry out of it, and you maybe fail miserably, or it can be a eureka moment and be like, wow, I never thought that I could use loki in a Asian stir fry dish. So that's how. Yeah, exactly. So, how curious you are is curiosity is going to be your best teacher, is what I keep telling people. Yeah.
I feel from the way you talk about it that you have started a new field of career, the celebrity chef career. So you're harbinger of this.
I don't feel celebrated at all, honestly. It's a very fake word.
So how different is the life from a chef working in a restaurant or a 5-star hotel or a Michelin star hotel?
Um, the base of it pretty much is the same. You are all cooking food. Um, in a restaurant where you're focusing towards 100 diners or 50, or how many ever diners that come into your restaurant and eat, here all that energy that you're going to be putting behind those many people is put behind one person. Wherein you're cooking for one person, or there are days that you're not only cooking for one client, but you're cooking for his family, you're cooking for his friends who are coming over, there are some guests, for all of it. So you need to adapt to, of course. Now a lot of this also is based on what's the size of your kitchen, what equipments you have, how you're managing your time. If you have to serve dinner at 8:30, what time you should be starting making your fresh pasta. Your bread should be made a day prior. So having worked in a restaurant and having these and having run a business, I sort of understand the whole workflow of things, of how you would be running a kitchen. So you don't see a home kitchen as home kitchen, and then you push your boundaries and you try and make a shawarma also at home, even though when you don't have that spinning rotisserie, you can do that in an oven. If you don't have that, how can you challenge yourself and do it on a gas range? Like, one of the challenges I face is to create Asian or Chinese wok dishes at home. Because if you see in Chinese restaurants, they have those big wok burners. It's a super high flame. It's got a blower at the bottom, and it cooks within seconds because it's that high speed and that high range of fire. So to achieve that at home, well, I've tried various techniques, and now I've finally come to a point where I feel like, this is not exactly the same, but it's at par at it. So, as I said, curiosity. It's all about how, in your head, you already know that what is the benchmark that you have set. That, okay, this is the standard. Now, at what point you are saying that I'm satisfied with the result I have received is uh, is going to be your final benchmark. So just don't have a benchmark. Just keep getting better and keep evolving. In a restaurant, it's the same thing, right? If you're cooking one menu, you're making that same dish again and again and again and again, and you just keep getting better at it. Probably the first day you made it in 60 minutes, and the next day you make it at whatever 59, and even that 1 minute difference is a sign of progress. So yeah.
For young people, they would always want to know, what is the scope, remuneration, and the how lucrative.
I'm also young, by the way. You don't keep saying young people. Yeah.
No, but by young, I mean like, people who are like 16, 18 bracket.
I mean, for someone who's starting off, I would definitely say, go and eat out in different restaurants. You will get to know. You'll get to know what is the. Go and eat out in different restaurants. Go and speak to the chefs of that restaurant. See what you like and where you would want. What is it that you would like to learn out of it? Um, we have this medium of Instagram through which we explore so much and we get to know so much about so many people and things that they are doing. If that excites you, approach them. Don't be disheartened if they don't have a position. Uh, Keep trying if till you succeed. So it's definitely very important to learn under someone first. At least create your foundation, create your how to say your brain, or because we learn all this in college, but actually standing in a kitchen for 8-10 hours, you also have to, because college is just one lecture, maybe 3 hours, 4 hours, maybe 1-2 events you did for 10-12 hours and you're happy, but constantly being in that same rut, or not rut, but the same place again and again, and doing the same things again and again, and how you keep changing and learning different things is very important at the start of your career. So learn under someone who is willing to teach you different things, because yeah, they'll, and the best part is that the learning will never stop till today, there are things that still surprise me. Till today, there are certain ingredients that I have not tasted, or till today, there are certain dishes that I have not even attempted myself. And I have sort of kept that in I've this one book where I keep writing down that, okay, these are the things that I'm going to try and attempt and do. So in my free time, I try and do that. Food is one way that you can travel the whole world. Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah,
need not
absolutely.
go to Japan to have sushi. You can get sushi rice everywhere. That's what I'm saying. It's such a time that we are getting these ingredients available here. Uh, had this been 10 years back, we didn't know what sushi was.
Yeah, exactly. That ways, it's a pretty lucrative profession.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As I said, that there are so many designations now. You could be a part of the restaurant as a line cook, or as an R&D chef, or you could be even doing instructing and teaching, and all these studios and classes they have. I mean, there you could go and learn things. Yeah, there are various ways that you can learn cooking on a whole. Yeah.
So, yeah. So, I would like to take this discussion to a little serious level. That, cooking is generally considered as a profession of women. Or when you started out, you must have, somebody might have told you, अरे ये तो घर के बावर्ची का काम है. So, did you face all these stereotypes and how did you handle them?
I mean, luckily, my parents were quite supportive at the very start of my career, or even before I even had that first thought. Like, they were always been supportive. When like as a kid, I even had an aspiration to become a doctor one day. I was a very little kid, and then I was like, okay, I want to be a pilot. And when actually I got the sense of things, I realized that no, man, I really would like to be a chef. So I'm quite grateful to be in a family where my parents supported my dream. And by supporting, I don't mean that uh, I mean, they just let me do what I did, even though whenever I failed or I didn't perform well in a particular place, they didn't put me down to it. They just said that it's okay. You gotta try harder, and just take this as a task that you're not able to complete. Just complete it and move on. So yeah, I and boy working or a girl working was never a thing. I've not seen a person's gender and then decided as to whether they can work or what they can do or what not. When you can do the job, I don't care. You're boy, girl, monkey, whoever you are.
You should be good at what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kitchen. Working in the kitchen is also not a one person or a one man show kind of a thing. It's a team effort. When you're working in a restaurant, you're feeding 100 people together. You need more hands to be on the job and to be doing what you're doing. So, yeah, it doesn't matter to me whether you're a boy, girl, man, woman, whatever. As well.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are some people who cook like monkeys. just joking, yeah.
So talking about, like you said about the celebrities. So celebrities have a pretty strict diet plans and they require certain nutritional demands. Does it get tough at some point when, somebody like Ranbir, who's such a big foodie? What do you do? How do you manage?
Honestly, I haven't. Obviously, during the initial stages, it is. I mean, it is that teething period wherein you are also trying to gauge a person's palate, whether you. I mean, you have to cook healthy food, and you basically develop that kind of rapport. So now, earlier our conversations used to be like, he used to tell me that, dude, you speak to the nutritionist and let's do exactly the way they are saying. Then after understanding from that nutritionist and doing the food that I do, he also understood that, okay, there is given these guidelines, I could eat so many things, because you also, as a chef, are working your brain towards, okay, what are the things that you can eat and how you can make them interesting. So there is a certain sort of language that you develop amongst yourself. So now our conversations are much simpler, where we talk about a shoot is coming up. I have to look much leaner. Let's get off carbohydrates. Let's keep carbohydrates. Let's skip carbohydrates in 2 meals and keep it in 2 meals, or let's up the protein and let's do a cheat day. What can we do? Can we eat duck, or can we eat chole bhature or whatever? Yeah. So that's the thing, right? I can't even if there is something that I don't know, I will put my energies to go and learn it and then cater to my client. As I said, information is lots out there, and to gather that information is not that tough a job to do right now. You can get on Google, or you can get on YouTube, and you will find there are hundreds of books that are out there. You can refer to them, and you will get that information. It's about how hungry you are, or how curious you are to adapt to it, or how proactive you are to work towards it. Yeah.
So you learned the nutritional aspects during your journey of working with the different celebrities, or you were into it earlier as well?
So in hospitality school, when I was studying, we did have food science and nutrition as a subject. I mean, we had 100-mark paper of it also. So you do have. I mean, you are taught this in school, but when we get into a restaurant or a hotel wherein you're cooking for a banquet, or you're cooking for a, you're basically trying to cook for an experience wherein you're not calculating calories. You are I mean, these are the most stereotypical and the most commonly known jobs of working in a restaurant, or somewhere. You could be fresh out of college and working in a lab with a nutritionist, just creating diet plans and writing recipes, or maybe publishing a book also. So, and having said that, you learn in school, but how much of you apply it to your everyday job is only when you understand it much better and much deeper, right? Uh, like in my college, we learned how to, we knew what is protein, carbs, and fats. We knew what are the sources of them, and we knew what can we make with those sources. But to apply that to a weekly menu, apply that every single day to 4 meals in a day was the task. That is something that I learned on the job. Like, if someone has a requirement of eating 100 grams of protein in a day, and their sources are egg whites and chicken and stuff like that, you cannot serve someone chicken in breakfast. You will have to make it with eggs, or you get to know much deeper. As in, I got to know you should eat paneer or any red meats in the night, because these are uh, these have casein protein, and they're slow digesting protein, so they keep you fuller when you're sleeping for 8 hours at night. So obviously, on the job, you learn much deeper to it. In college, you just basically scratch the surface, but it all depends on where you're working and what your job demands and how you can adapt to it. So yeah, and of course, when it comes to cooking techniques, I feel this whole global approach of chefs now to my style of cooking has never been European or French. I've always been inclined towards Asian food, and this side of the world, not the eastern side of the world, and not the western. But and I used to be a guy who would keep how to say, I would refrain from using that Western side of the World Cup techniques or that knowledge, or I would hate eating a pasta. Just by disliking something, I used to not be that, I should not be that curious to learn it more. But there came a point wherein I realized that I sometimes will not have to do it for myself. I'll have to do it because my job demands me to do it. Like tomorrow, if Ranbir wants to eat pasta, I cannot say that I'm a Chinese chef, bro, and I can't do this Italian because I don't like to eat it and all. You just have to learn it. You have to
Yes.
buy a pasta machine. You have to buy dough. You have to buy flour. You have to buy eggs. Make your dough, and you make pasta. So, and the first time probably it will not be great, but second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, and then you know that okay, exactly this is my final recipe, and this is what I'm going to do. So, yeah, you definitely, and kitchen is a place, irrespective of this healthy side or not, you do learn a lot on the job. Yeah.
So the foodie inside me is curious that we have talked a lot about nutrition, but what do you serve the Punjabi Ranbir Kapoor on a cheat day?
Ah, um, so many things. Yeah, like in a year, if there are 52 Sundays, as I said, there have been days that we've done chole bhature also. There have been days we have done like a whole leg of lamb as well. There are days we made butter chicken. There are days I have made butter chicken super healthy by cutting the cream, the butter, the ghee, and all of it by not making it super rich and calorie dense. So Ranbir really likes his meats. He's that typical Punjabi boy who loves his meats. He loves jeera aloo and bhindi aloo. Um, he has his days. There are days that he wants to eat very simple food, wherein you give him chicken curry and bhindi sabji, roti, and he'll be happy. Just lately, he's been a little more conscious about maybe instead of whole wheat roti, he would have a nachni roti or a jawar roti or a bajra roti, or we would make a moong dal chilla along with everything else like your chicken curry, or you make whatever palak chicken and like, yeah, various things. Yeah.
Okay, great, great. So, what would be your message to the budding? I won't use the word young anymore. The budding chefs.
Ah, message to everyone would be that get inside a kitchen, go and buy some ingredients that you've never cooked with, cook them, eat them, develop a liking for them, and just cook. I mean, that's so one thing is very, I've noticed that whenever I'm the saddest or wherever I'm the happiest, the kitchen is my place where I feel like me, I feel like myself. As I said, when I'm down, it uplifts me, and when I'm happy, it makes me even more happy. So yes, there'll be tough days, there'll be tough times, and there'll be days that you won't feel like getting out of bed because you've already worked and exhausted yourself. Try and take a break, sleep it out, go back to work, and yeah, just cook. Stay hungry and stay curious.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to have you on the show, and you were so kind enough to respond to my DM. Come
Hey, I'm
over.
so sorry. I delayed this almost for a week, but I'm extremely sorry for that. I've been super caught up with the things, and I'm so glad I could make it today, and we got to do this interview.
I'm so
Thank
glad.
you so much.
Yeah, to do this, because I have been following your Instagram so dearly and so passionately. So I really wanted to do it with you. I'm so glad to have done it.
Thank you, Dipshika. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Harsh.